Hello there. Well, I have a video before this one that if you haven't seen it yet, you can go ahead and watch this one, but make sure you go back and watch it. It's called Getting Your House Ready to List. There's so much information, and I was going to try to get everything in on one video for you, but there's just so much. And today, we're going to finish. It started in the last video, but we're going to finish how to get your house ready for the inspector, the dreaded inspector. I can remember the inspector coming over, and I just had to get out of the house. And the buyers, they were there too. So they were sitting around listening to everything the inspector said. And I just took the dog and got out. And my husband, he was a wreck from it. And it passed. But actually, he did miss some things. One, for instance, was that's something that you really should check too. Is it's like with the air conditioning, there was it was working fine the year before. This was in the winter time when the inspector was there, so he couldn't actually do a good test on the air conditioning. But the thing is, there was a slow leak in the lines, and we didn't know it. So after they purchased the home, the air conditioning wouldn't work. They were infuriated. The thing is, he was an air conditioning guy, so he sold air conditioners. Us along with, yeah, we've sold several homes and run into some messes. I'm going to try to help you not to run into. All right, let's talk about the electrical panel. If you're in an older home and you see that you have glass fuses in there, that is not going to pass inspection. So you have to get a new electrical panel. And I believe you can get those at Home Depot. Or check to see if there is anything that would be a fire hazard. Got to really watch all that. Look and see if there's any loose lines or any electrical things that the wires are showing, because they're going to check all of that. Do you have any broken outlets or light switch covers? All of that is very inexpensive. Home Depot, Ace, Lowe's, you can get those. Another thing they're going to check is the GFCI. You know, I know electrician, okay, but it's that GFCI stands for Ground Fault Circuit Interrupter. That is in case there's any water on the counter in your kitchen, so you won't get electrocuted. I can remember my dad doing that. I heard him in the kitchen go, yow! He was making coffee and there was water on the counter and he really got a jolt. So that's why they have that. And you can tell it because, you can correct me if I'm wrong, it has that little red button on it, kind of rectangular thing, and you can push the button. But you have to have one outlet per circuit. So usually there's just one that you're going to need for that. All right, so properly grounded outlets. Now you can get a gadget at Home Depot that will check that. Just ask the man there, say, I need something to check to make sure my outlets are properly grounded. Inexpensive, plugs right in to any of the outlets, and you can find that out. Instead of being surprised, right? Do you have any missing junction box covers? That also you can buy at Home Depot. Any overloaded circuits? It's not going to pass. Got to take care of that. They're going to check your heating and your air conditioning. What we do is we have an inspection. I think it's twice a year on our heating and air conditioning. And when you have that done, then you feel comfortable and safe about it for yourself, and then also in case you're going to sell. You don't have to worry about it. How about your roof? Do you have moss on your roof? If any side of your house is on the north side, you can get moss on your roof or your siding. I see it advertised all the time where they could come out and they clean your roof and make it look like new. I have no idea what they charge, but if you're selling, that might be a good thing to do. And then in the meantime, you want to check and see if there's any shingles that are missing. You're going to need to replace. They need to be replaced anyhow because that's what causes leaks. They're going to check your attic for any leaks for sure. They're going to check your attic for any mold. I'll be honest, what we used to rehab houses, and we knew that if they see mold in the attic, they're going to freak out, make a big thing out of it, and cost us so much money to get it fixed. I used to get bleach and water in a bottle, and I'm telling you, mold, anything like that, it goes away with that. And I just go up but I do it way ahead of time so you get rid of the bleach smell. And just take a bottle and spray where that mold was. It was gone. I guess I should be telling that. That's a rehabber thing. Okay. Oh, let's see. Gutters. Make sure your gutters are cleaned. Make sure you don't have little trees growing in your gutter. You know those little beans? If you got those little whirly things, they'll get up in there and they'll grow little trees up there. That's not good. So make sure get somebody out to do that if you're older. If you're young, you can get up on a ladder and clean them. But if you're older, get somebody to do it. Oh, what else we got here? Oh, the roof. Okay, you can get an independent roof inspector if you're concerned about the roof and you can't really get up there and see good. Find out what they charge you to just give it a once over. Your siding and trim. Yes. What have I got wrote down there? Seams, I think, maybe. Yeah. So your siding and your trim. Be sure you check that if you've got any pieces of siding that are missing. Hopefully, somewhere in the garage or the basement, you got some extra pieces that will match perfectly. But even if it doesn't match perfectly, you need to get it in there. How about your septic and sewer? You need to have that inspected. If you don't, there's something wrong. It's going to be something that comes up at the last minute. How about in the garage? You have an automatic door, and when it comes down, there's those safety sensors. If sometimes something is just in the way, you just need to move it out of the way. But make sure they're working. If not, that's something you can replace too. Also, what they're going to check is the emergency pole string. Now, ladies, that's the string hangs down, has a little red thing on it that attracts hummingbirds in your garage. But I've got tape on mine right now because of the hummingbirds, but if I ever sell the house, I have to take that tape off. I'm glad I didn't paint it. Yeah, I can just take the tape off. That's a good idea. All right. Well, we're getting down here on this one. Oh, you could have, I have never called about it, but you can have a pre-listing home inspection. That way, you can get somebody out who will check all the things that's going to come up on that home inspection. That would really be good. That way, you've got papers showing that it's negotiable as far as home inspection. If you're, the one who you're getting more than one buyer and you're on top of this and you can negotiate this, you can say they have to pay for the inspection. But it would be nice if you already had someone come out and it was already inspected and you have the paperwork for that. But the bank is actually going to get their own inspector out. Who pays for it is up to you and the seller, or buyer rather. Here is one of the last one. And you know what? My next video, watch it before you call any realtor. I think it's very important. Very important. All right, the last one. And I had this happen in one of the homes that we owned in Lake of Four Seasons in Crown Point, Indiana. A lot of the homes there had this radon. And I guess it's dangerous. It can cause cancer and all kind of stuff. Well, we had radon and didn't know it. We lived there, at least 3 years. So, of course, when we sold the house, they came out and they checked and said now we had to get it fixed and have these pipes put in and run outside to get rid of the radon. So check for that if you're in an area that has this problem, right? And I didn't even know that they had that problem where we lived. So many things. But if you get all this stuff taken care of, properly taken care of, you can kind of relax now when you go in and you're going to get your house sold. You've got it all fixed up on the inside. I've got a lot more on that on my next video. And then that when the inspector comes out, he's not going to come out with a sheet full of stuff that has to be repaired. Now you got to try to find somebody to fix it. And it can delay you on closing. Or the bad thing is your buyer can walk. If they find a lot of stuff wrong, they'll just walk. I know it sounds like a lot. But like I said, how do you eat an elephant? Just one bite at a time. Do it little by little. And like I say, if you do all this stuff and you're going to stay, it needs to be done. Like I needed to know I had a radon leak. I needed to have my smoke alarms and things like this. These need to be updated. If I have a leak around the shower head or any place like this, my water bill can go up. So it would be good to get it all taken care of. All right, and there's going to be another video. I'll have to work on one more. I thought I was going to do this in one. I hope it's just going to be 3. But make sure you check my last one too, because that was a good one. All right. I hope this was of some help. Let me know if it was. Let me know if you're getting ready to sell or you've sold and what mistakes you made. I got one I want to tell you about. Boy, it was a big, big mistake. Okay. Love you guys. Goodbye.